All right, let's get this up. Generally not a good invasion tactic. Attachments at the beginning of the game are generally not good corner invasions. It's very easy for white to answer. Also, generally not great. White's going to Atari this way. You don't want to Atari on e16. That leaves you with too many cutting points and too many weak points. You want to come up the other way so you can actually connect c17 afterwards. He has to basically play e16 so you connect 17 afterwards. That way you get the corner. And if he forces, you get the side on a fairly good clip as well. So what you're getting is just better than what he's actually getting. You might say he's like getting all the influence over here, but realistically, you already got all the corner territory, and if he forces up here, which he might, which is good, actually, it's not too bad of a move, you get territory down here as well. So, um, generally not a great. This is generally not a great play for black. Yeah, that you basically, I think you almost have to play e15. This is way too low and way too small. I might have been better off ignoring this and like playing something like this, honestly. But this is also like e15 is also very, very big because it affects the shape of both sides. So the thing is, he only got like this here, while I got the entire corner. Fairly large advantage for white. Fairly large advantage for white. Not a good trade for him. And yeah, like I said, e15 is almost necessary in this exchange. Double Hane, he can't really do much about this. Then I would just probably play e13 after he responds. If he doesn't respond, not good for him. Yeah, very, very good exchange for white. Black doesn't get much territory. Influence is very, very limited. And white actually gets much more territory and influence on white's side. So, very good result. Hey guys, very good result for white. It's fine. Just going to do this. So a lot of Go is actually instinctive, like which which moves you actually make. But and some of it obviously is reading and like thinking and comprehension stuff, but a lot of Go is actually instinctive as well. This is going to be bigger than this. This doesn't really threaten me, and this is still a thing here. I don't really know if c5 is better than d5, but they're about the same. I'm not really sure what that does exactly. I'm actually just going to invade here. He's leaving this up for me, but I'm not going to take it right now. I can take it anytime. I really don't feel threatened by this move either. I always have this move up here, and there's definitely a lot of ways I can actually live this particular group. So this move doesn't particularly threaten me. It's better if you actually leave it in the comments after I publish the video, because I can't really like it's hard for me to actually respond while I'm actually playing because I'm still trying to pay somewhat attention to the game. I mean, the game's not hard for me to play, but I don't know. Maybe N4 is a better response to this move. I think that was just too reflexive on my part. Might have been too reflexive on my part. I I don't like playing like sporadically like this because you still don't really have that much territory. Like he's not sealing that much like territory. Realistically, he's not really sealing that much territory. And that can be a pretty big problem for him. Playing light really depends. I would say yes for the most part, but there are just some moves you have to do, more or less. Now we get to see if he actually knows how to attack or not. Which side do I force? I'll force this side. I think it's bigger. I do think this side's much bigger than forcing this, so I'm gonna force this side. And there is, see, I think this move is actually much bigger than this move, because this group isn't that strong either. I'll go ahead and do this. I mean, I could try to do something here, but I don't really want to. I think I'm just going to invade down here. As long as I destroy enough of his territories to where I actually have more, I'm not really all that concerned. The influence he's building up here is just really not worth it. There's just no potential for territory up here. Do I take one or the other? Nah, it's better just to connect here. I am making him a lot stronger on this side, so he might be able to threaten this group later, but I don't think so. I'm just going to live this group over here. That was pretty big, but it's not a huge deal. It's Gote for him. I don't know what to do on this one specifically. Guess I can come on top and threaten this. Let's see how this works. That doesn't make too much sense. There's not that much territory there. I'm just gonna take this because this is pretty big. Yeah. That was the wrong move. If you're gonna do this, you play Q17 right afterwards. So basically, like I was giving him these four. I was giving him these four in exchange for getting this to be much stronger. 'Cause this doesn't really do him anything right now. This is not really all that useful. There's no territory over here. I'm not really in danger. At least I don't think I am. No, I don't think I am. Um, and I get another free move, which actually puts him in a lot of danger. Actually, no, it doesn't. That's my bad. I don't know if he's trying to get the middle territory or something. There's not much middle territory to actually have. To get. There's actually not much middle territory to get. Mm, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to get the Sente for this. So if I seal this now, this is very, very much pretty almost dead. If he doesn't answer this, then P2 is Sente, or I could try to kill the corner. Yeah, the problem with things like this is that like it I probably should block, but the problem with like moves like this is like giving up this entire thing, even though you have this down here, giving up this entire thing is just not viable. Because there's no way you're gonna get enough territory. There's absolutely no way you're gonna get enough territory to counter losing this. I mean, I can just do this all the way. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big. Like I can lose a couple points here, but just you giving up all of this not viable at all. Actually, that might be a bad play. There's definitely a problem there. Not that much of one though. This is bad. Yeah, don't. Uh, you obviously play L3 instead of M2. This is just really horrible, getting me to extend out. Yes, you can do this and get the two stones back, but it's not very big. I don't really care about this territory in here. There's not too much of it. I could go here and protect 10 or so points, but getting this crank is bigger. Because I can do, right now I wouldn't, but I can do L1 later. And once all the liberties are filled, like this corner
You
still
have
has
won.
issues. So let's actually go here and review this game. First of all, the attachment is not a good invasion. You just invade, just do one of the regular invasions. The attachment's not a good invasion. The obvious Hane, either this way or this way, it just makes it a bad invasion. Um, Doing that's also bad. White, I know a lot of, I think like doing something like this actually like depends on white making a mistake in doing this. If you do this, this favors black because now you have like way too many things to fix. But any any Dan level player will not actually play E16. This is the correct move here. He connects, and I'm going to connect bet down here. So, like I said, this exchange, black gets this, but white gets the entire corner. Win for white. That's a bad move. You almost have to do this. That would
Challenge
be,
received.
that's actually much, much better. It's actually far better than that. This is too narrow. White's going to come up here, and this just definitely favors white because you're just shrunken up in this like little territory. I guess I should have pushed more, but I'm going to do this. I guess like giving him the Sente here is no good, but to me like even it says black 0.6, but like white gets so much more because white gets the corner, black doesn't really get all that much. Going here, I feel like you do this or you do this. Those are the better moves. I'm going to invade here, then get the extension out. So like this move is fine, I guess, but I would actually prefer black doing this right now, or doing this. Because you still have invasions here, so I'm going to do that. That's not a good move. It doesn't really threaten me. I guess I probably should have taken it right away. Or maybe just do something like this. That was probably the correct move for white. Gonna invade here. Here, I would definitely just pincer or something. Solidify both sides. Yes, white can do something like this, but you can still kind of attack white, I guess, here. Doing this, I feel like this and this trade is not really that good for black. Yeah, this is definitely the optimal move right now. I probably wouldn't play this. I'd definitely play this. But playing here right now doesn't make much sense. White's going to come down. Here, you absolutely have to play that. This is just giving up too much, giving me that crank, and doing this. Because right now, like, I've basically successfully defeated your corner, Moyo. You've gotten only a little bit of space, and now this stone is a little bit in trouble. Plus, these two still aren't that strong. So I definitely got the better of that. I'm going to come out here. I didn't really need to do that. This might have actually just been the better move, honestly. But I wanted to solidify this space. I'm not really, like... I feel like if I was black, I would definitely play this at this point. Because now it is getting... Since you have this stone, it is getting kind of threatening for these stones here. So he does that. I'm going to force this way. He's going to jump out, and I'm going to jump out. Like, to me, like, this is by far the biggest move right now. Because, like, it puts me out of danger, and it kind of threatens your 3 stones right here. By the way, if you do this, I can just go ahead and do this. I mean, I don't know. Nah, I guess it wouldn't work, because... I guess it wouldn't really work. Never mind. So, like, jumping here is actually connecting these 3. That doesn't really make too much sense. I guess I should have played this just to separate these two, but to me, there's, like, bigger moves. And also, like, yeah, I forgot about this. So this isn't... I did actually play that. Once you play that, I'm going to invade down here. This is, like, the last big territory black actually has. I'm gonna do this. Gonna Hane this. I. This is the other option, obviously. I guess I could have played that way. Wouldn't have been bad. But I guess I just let that slip. I'm gonna play here. That's fine. But this isn't good because like you're like when I play here, you might want to, I mean, I don't know. I personally think like this is a pretty big move, but right now though, I feel like right now, getting like I probably wouldn't even respond when White does that. Right now, just getting the Sente is a lot more important. This is okay, but obviously you still have this move, so it's really not that threatening. But it does like help my group here a little bit. Right now, I probably should have just done this. So he does that. That's kind of useless because this group's not in danger. There's no territory here. So I just kind of like did this just to get some bottom territory. So the correct move here is this. Because I'm not going to be...
received.
I'm definitely not going to be willing to actually trade that. Because that's very bad for me. So if you did this, I would probably do this. You would go all the way down, and I would probably ignore you at this point. Because, yeah, I would get the Sente, but you would get those 4 stones. But I do this. This is the wrong move. And letting me do that, obviously, because that gets that whole corner territory. Here, obviously, this is going to be the best move. You don't want to fight me here. You just want to connect. So I'm going to block this. That I don't understand that move. I mean, this is going to be better. That's just not a good move to respond with. I'm going to go ahead and seal all of this. He does this. I'm going to seal all of this too. I don't think there's anything here. I probably should have just blocked because I don't think there's really anything he can do here. But I was just being extra safe at this point. Do that. Of course, just curl. There's nothing there. So this is obviously the wrong move. But I was kind of afraid of this because this actually works. Although, like, if I do this, I don't think he can do anything. So I think I'm fine. Because, like, you don't want to block here because he has that. Although, at this point, if he does that, like, I might just do this. Because, like, you know, taking these 3 stones, cool. But at the same time, like, it doesn't really accomplish much for him. Yeah, so, like, so when someone, if in this situation, sorry, if in this situation, he does this, you don't have to connect. You can do that. But if you do this, like, don't connect this way. Because this is generally what black wants. Because now you have these 3 stones kind of trapped. You can always sacrifice these 3 stones later. If this group is alive, you can always sacrifice those 3 stones. But obviously this is the wrong play. And obviously this just makes things worse and worse. And that's how that game was lost and determined. Like sacrificing, giving me several free moves, like trading these 3 moves for several moves here, costing about 20, 30 points. And then like making this mistake over here cost about 10. So that is how that game was, that's how that game was lost. I actually think this is the first challenge I got, so I'm gonna accept the first one. I go by first come first serve. I play 2 games a day, but I do work with first come first serve. What tip did you give me? I think like the thing is you have to have like an overall. I think for you right now, I think you'd have to have an overall plan for like what you actually like, how you actually want to play. Like figure out what your style is for the game. Figure out your overall style for the game, and then like kind of try to play according to that plan. Also I mean, like study a few things with the AI or books. Study a few things with the AI or books about like which moves are like what, how to determine the value of stones, and obviously at your level you do need to practice on your reading a little bit. You do actually need to practice on your reading some. So so you don't make like critical errors. That's definitely not good for him. This was, yeah, that's not good for him. That doesn't really do anything for him, and I can still kill these. I think extending's probably just my best move right now. You might think attacking these is probably the best move right now. I'm gonna just keep on pressing on this side. He still can't do anything. If I do this, yeah, this is a very bad start for him. I'm going to give him the bottom for the overall like. I'm going to give him the bottom for the overall top influence. Oh, that's a really bad move. If I extend this down, he can't do anything. You have to take, at this point, you have to take the stone. Yeah, more or less, you're just feeding me territory without getting too much yourself. So there's a huge mistake with the Joseki up here. This is unranked, right? These shouldn't be ranked games. Like, I've already gotten all this territory. He has a really weak group here. Has an exceedingly weak group there. Just gonna go ahead and attack this group. I can worry about this later. I've already like solidified so much territory down here. Yeah, it's fine. It's not enough territory he's getting there. That's a weird answer. I guess it's okay. So he can't attack me right there. And it does leave Aji over here. I don't... I mean, this invasion's fine, I guess. This is one of those things where... I don't think I could actually kill him. I mean, I might be able to, but I don't think so. I'm not too worried about killing him, just wanting to build up influence. If he plays this way, I might be able to kill him. Like I said, I'm not really concerned with killing the group. I might be able to if I try really hard, but killing the group is actually not my concern right now. Okay, if he plays that way, I might just kill him though, because there's like you can just play b7 and live. I mean, there's no reason you should do this. I don't have to answer, I guess. I mean, I think it's dead anyways. But he can clamp here. Might be somewhat troublesome. I'm going to go ahead and answer. I don't think I have to, but I'm going to go ahead and answer. This is still dead. Yeah, I mean, if this group should have been alive, and I would have probably just fixed something out here afterwards. Um, this might be a little risky, honestly, because of what's over here, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'd fight this out. It's not a big deal. It's not a good move. I mean, that's like one of those like I really want to live type of moves, but it lets me solidify the outside way too much. So he's basically in a position where he has to sacrifice one of the two groups. That's never really a good thing. And possibly sacrifice, I mean, he's not going to have to sacrifice both. But he is in a position where he has to sacrifice one of the two. I'm perfectly happy for that. He gets to live there, but that doesn't really affect it all that much. I should attack this down here. Not exactly sure how, but I'm going to attack that down there. Actually not very good at attacking things like this. I don't think he can actually do that right now. Because I don't think this is alive. H2 would have actually made it alive. But right now it's 100% not alive. I don't really see the point in that. Huh. I don't think this works for him. Also the wrong move. I think if he actually played e3, he would have been okay. Now, if he played e3, that would have put me in a lot of trouble, actually. So I made a mistake there. He should have played e3. I technically don't have to answer this. Yeah, I don't think I will, because there's no point in answering this. I think I'm just going to go here, because I can always play f4. I can always play f4 if he takes those two stones. It's still dead. That was kind of a pointless move, because it's still dead. It gives me some Sente moves. So I'm going to pick up some really good Sentes right now. Pick up some really, really good Sentes right now. That's the correct move. This is what you do like in closing game. This is actually what you do in Endgame. You want to just grab all the Sentes you can. I mean, it's not quite Endgame yet, but it's pretty close. You want to grab all the Sentes you can, because each one you get gives you a slight advantage over the opponent. That's going to be that move. But either way, I'm going to just go ahead and protect this cut. It's like the only thing that might possibly be left. Yeah. To figure out how to make this alive. Okay, since he did that, this is alive. I don't think if he played. I think if he didn't. I don't think if he played S7 it'd be alive. So yeah, this is one of those things where there's just not much territory here. And this, like, something like S7 is going to be bigger than this by a lot. There's actually a really good chance to, like, learn how to play endgame a little bit. I probably should have went down here. This moves like this are big. I mean, these are all Sente moves, so you might as well just do them. This is also Sente now. It depends if he actually wants to answer or not. There's not too many big moves right now. I think I'm just going to do this. That's not very big. I'd be probably thinking harder if this was like a close game, but it's just a really bad start for black over here. You just like repair all these things that need to be repaired in this invasion, and he essentially has no chance to win. Okay, so the thing is, like, even if this group and this group wasn't dead, I'd be pretty far ahead. There's no point in doing that. That's Sente, obviously. He has to connect that or that group dies as well. And I'm just going to do this. And at this point, I'm just not going to mess up and do this. I don't need to do that, but just giving him a Sente right now isn't really that important. Just avoid any screw-ups, and at this point, you'll be fine. I am letting him get a little bit of territory in here. That's perfectly fine. There's really not that much in there anyways, maybe like 3 or 4 points, so I'm not really all that afraid. You can see like the territory I've actually made here is greater than the territory I've actually made here. So that originally did not actually work out that well for him. This is also pretty big right now. Just more points. This is okay. But this game's mostly done. That's not useful because it's still dead. Just taking out any chances of error right now on my part. You should be like doing something like this, or at this point, I'm just gonna connect. I don't have to connect, but I'm just gonna go ahead and connect. That's useless because it's still dead, so that's just feeding me more points. Like the thing is, like when you make a move like this, you have to like be sure that this move can actually make this group alive. Otherwise, you're just feeding more points. Like this particular move doesn't increase your eye space any. That doesn't really make much sense. Like this doesn't work. You're a couple liberties off for the snapback. I know what he's trying to do, but it doesn't work. I don't even have to answer that early. He has to fix this. There is a. That's not the right one to fix. There's nothing down there. There is something here, though. He can't. He can't connect. He, still dead. Like, if you actually play these moves and your opponent doesn't respond, you're just feeding him a point. So there's really no purpose into doing this. And like I said, even
Pass.
no, that's obviously a point. But even if this and this were dead, white would still be significantly ahead. I mean, even if this and this were alive, white still would be significantly ahead. It doesn't really do anything. Like, I, you're just kind of like adding points to my score.
Pass. Remove the dead stones. You have won.
I mean, this is not important for this game, but in a close game, you don't want to do moves like this or this because every time you do that and I don't respond and you're still dead, you basically increase my lead by a point. In this game, it didn't really matter, but in a tournament, you don't want to do that. Going back and actually reviewing this game. I think the start's fine. That's perfectly fine. I feel like just doing the regular Joseki here would be better, but this is not a huge mistake. I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's regular. That's fine. Usually I think the appropriate response is C17 or just F15. F15. This is
Challenge
fine.
received.
I'm not going to play any more games today. Um, this is the second one. So that's fine, but this is not. This is okay. I'm going to go here. Like, this is a problem because there is this cut. So technically, like, I think this would be the better move here. Obviously, I'm going to do this. That's a really bad move because it lets me come out. And honestly, I probably should have just done this. That seals the bottom territory, and black doesn't really get all that much. But I just went ahead and did this. That's also a really bad move. If you're going to do this, you absolutely have to do that. This would actually be a lot better for black than what actually came about. Yes, it's better for white, of course, but it'd still be pretty good for black. So if I do this, you almost have to do this. This is very, very damaging. Of course, I'm going to take that. Yeah, I feel like you have to do this as well. If I kill this, you just kind of let me kill it, more or less. And I probably wouldn't. I probably would. I might actually do something like this. But letting me come out, that's very bad. And also, like, these two stones, since I'm already out, this group's not on a threat. These two stones are roughly worth 6 or 7 points. So you don't, so like they're not worthy for you to connect right now. There's much, much bigger moves. I actually don't know what you would do here. You might play something here, I guess. I guess that would probably be the correct move. But connecting those two stones aren't worth enough to justify a play right now. I'm going to keep going. Obviously, I'm going to Hane this and do this. So this threatens this, obviously. I feel like I probably should have just done that and just left it alone. But that... I could have just honestly done this and just left it alone. Probably my best play, but here you have to take this. And I would disconnect this. I'll take the upper territory. This is probably a pretty big mistake by me, honestly. This honestly is probably a pretty big mistake by me because I'm sacking a lot of territory. I probably should have just done this and gone this route because you're still very weak here and I still have the corner. So this was actually a big territorial mistake by me. You can see I lost like 10 points there. I actually wanted to make the connection, but here you absolutely have to take this stone. Let me disconnect the top two. I just wanted the influence on the outside. But this is a misplay by me. I should have extended down by far. There's too much territory here for me to give up. So this is a mistake by me, but a bigger mistake by him right now. I extend down, and then at this point, like I'm way ahead because I got the bottom territory plus like you're really weak here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Answer on that. Then I'm going to try to threaten these stones here. Of course you do that, and I'm going to invade down here to break up your big territory here. There's really no way you can kill me. That's fine. I would definitely favor this right now, or even like this right now. In fact, I would probably attack this stone, judging by the state of the game. So that's just kind of a strange answer, but I'm going to do that. I would probably do this, because you still have some threat on these three. Like at this point, you need to threaten something and take advantage of threatening my stones to actually make up some of the deficits that you've played yourself into right now. So doing this, letting me do this, this settles me so you don't have anything to attack anymore. That's okay. Yeah, like this invasion's wrong. There should really be no way I can kill the stone here. Now I'm gonna go up on top. You generally don't do something like that. I mean, you do have to do things like this at this point to, I guess, to really live. But I wasn't really trying to kill this thing, you know, like I was just trying to solidify the outer influence and then like do something like 05 afterwards. My entire goal here was like I want to force you to live a very small group, get Sente and do like 05. That was the entire goal. Of course, this is just going to kill you. And yeah, here there's no reason to do like here like there's no eye space here, so you would definitely just do this and live. Like I said, like but that accomplishes my goal. Force you to live very small, do 05, and maybe like get this territory. I might even do something like this first, just to prevent like an invasion. Here, if you do this, I would actually do this. So that was essentially my goal for all of this. Of course, I'm going to but like, you know, killing this is even better. So I'm going to attack this group now. And once again, my goal is actually not to kill this group because it's actually quite hard to kill this group. Because like if I threaten these 5 stones, you could always sacrifice these 5 stones. So my goal is actually just to get the outer influence on this group. This is a pretty bad move, honestly. This is a really bad move. You can't let me get this move. So essentially, like, I don't really know. That's definitely the right move. I have a lot of cutting points, and you could actually have a chance to get this out. If I do this, then you have a lot of options with cutting points here. So this is a pretty bad move. It lets me get this. It lets me connect. This doesn't really do anything, obviously. Then, of course, like, he does get to live here, but I've gotten all this thickness, so it's definitely, like, advantage me. And with this thickness, I can actually attack this group. Yeah, this. You have to do this. Like, you have to make sure this group is actually alive. Because this group is definitely not alive. There's not 2 eye spaces here, so obviously this dies. And then, like, yeah, this is the better move. Then I'm just going to take the synthase. This, obviously you do this. Yeah, you don't retreat again. Then I'm going to protect this cut, which because that's the only thing he could actually possibly do to actually pull ahead. I'm going to invade down here. You know, an invasion like this is strange, but because like if he does this, I think I'm dead. Because you have the option to do something like this. You always have the option to do something like this, and realistically, like I don't think I win this. I don't actually think I win this. I might. I'm not really sure. If he does this, I mean, you could opt to do this as well and play this way. It would force me to be pretty. I mean, I don't know if this would work for him though. But I mean, like I would definitely consider doing. I would definitely consider doing this. Yeah, I would definitely consider doing that right now. Because you know how that ends out. And this is definitely the move we should actually do right now. This actually lets me live down here. And it takes all your territory away. So that's definitely a lot of minus points for him. So the thing is, like, this isn't worth very much because at the most, there's not too much territory up here anyways. At the most, it's 3 or 4 points. This solidifies this group, and it's a couple of points here. So this is much bigger. Obviously, I'm going to take advantage of stuff like that. And I'm just going to, like, peep here. You can see, like, basically, like, forcing him to protect this territory. I actually got... I eventually got more territory here than he actually did here. So that's a loss for him as well. Of course, that's going to be pretty big. This is going to be pretty big. And that's basically how the game ends. There was definitely like, there's a mistake in like living down here, not living here, not living here. But even without these two groups, white is significantly ahead. And the thing is, if I had actually allowed him to live here, I would have a lot more territory than this. Because sometimes I eventually ended up killing him because he played wrong. But the thing is like, sometimes the point of attacking the group is to not actually kill the group. It's to build up your influence to affect other areas of the board. So that's the game for today. Like and subscribe, hit the bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later on.